Okay, well, thank you so much, Eric. And thanks so much to all of you guys for getting on tonight. We are so excited. I know a lot of you are at least have some familiarity with Teamzy, but there's a lot to learn and I'm excited for it. So thanks so much, Eric, and I'll just turn it over to you.
My pleasure. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Eric Johnson. And here, let me put this on speaker view so I record it right for you guys. Creator of Teamzy, I am so excited to be with you tonight. I am going to take you guys through a lot. Actually, I'm going to give you a lot of training tonight. It's going to feel like you're sipping water from a fire hose at times. So make sure you have something ready to take notes. Here's what I'm going to do. First, I will take you through Teamzy. I'll show you how to set it up. I'll show you how you can easily connect with 20 people every single day in less than 30 minutes. Okay, using Teamzy. Not have to go back and track it because you track it as you go. Everything is just seamless, super mega efficient you. I'll show you that tonight. But beyond just being an amazing software tool to help you be efficient in your business, Teamzy is based on a philosophy of doing business called relationship marketing. Okay, and some of the fundamentals that we built the system upon kind of go against maybe what you've heard in network marketing in general. And I think it will resonate with you and you'll love it. Obviously, there's been a huge connection with your community with Teamzy. So what I want to do first is take you through a little bit of training on what is relationship marketing. And then we'll jump into Teamzy. We'll set it up. I'll show you how to crush a power hour. Okay. And when we're done with all of that, what I'll do is I'll do a live Q&A. If you guys have some questions for me at that point, you can ask me anything and I'll answer it. Well, so far I've answered every question people have thrown at me. So let's see what you got. Sound good? All right, so let me jump in here. If you're coming in and unmuted, make sure you guys mute yourselves, please. Especially if you're gonna be doing things like, somebody was cooking dinner in the microwave the other day and it was like popcorn popping. You never know what's gonna happen. Okay, here's my presentation, how to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. Okay, this is what I want to talk to you guys about first. See, Teamzy is built on this whole concept of the power hour, the idea that you can get everything done in your business in less than an hour a day. Okay, no planning, no thinking, just go do. I'll show you how to do that tonight. A little bit about my backstory. I come from a background of coaching and consulting. I have been a professional business coach for just a little over 15 years, helping people build their business. I came into network marketing by accident. I am not a pro network marketer, career network marketer. Some of you guys have been doing it a lot longer than I have. But what I am good at is helping people build their business by relationship. I fell into network marketing by accident, found some products that really helped me. And when I realized there was a great business opportunity, what I did was I looked at it from the coaching perspective and said, okay, in order to do this, I need to find tools that will help me leverage my time. And so the first thing I did was I went looking for what tools I thought must already exist for such an amazing industry. Well, there's a reason why you're all here talking to me tonight. They didn't exist. And what was built for our industry was cumbersome, overcomplicated, inefficient, and certainly not based on relationship building. It was based on kind of this find them, fleece them, and forget them kind of 1970s sales mentality, which seems to be everywhere still. And which is, by the way, a little side note, the reason why so many people are guarded and skeptical about our business is because so many folks are still using these old sales tactics that are not genuine and they're not true and they don't match where our society is in general these days. Make sense? So long story short, we built Teamzy. Well, I say we because it's beyond my ability to create. I found some smart guys who could figure out how to build it for me. I drew it in a notebook. If we have time tonight, I'll actually show you the notebook with my chicken scratches on it. We built it because it was needed. It just didn't exist. So let's jump back into the presentation though. What is relationship marketing? What is relationship marketing? A lot of people think that this is simply selling things to your friends. And that's not the case. In fact, I want you to understand first and foremost that relationship marketing is a lead generation system. A lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. Okay. Why do I tell you this? As business owners, and I want you first of all to understand that you're a business owner. As business owners, the first decision you make in your business is which lead generation system will you employ in your business? How are you going to get business? And how will you decide how to do that in a way that's congruent with who you are and how you want to do business? Relationship marketing happens to be a lead generation system. It's not just selling things to your friends or singing Kumbaya with your friends. It's a system, and I'm going to show you tonight how you can follow systematically, connect with people, and create a predictable stream of leads, if that makes sense. But I want you to understand, as business owners, your business is not marketing and selling amazing nutritional products or even tower gardens. That's not your business. You're in the lead generation business. You are in the lead generation business. No matter how busy you are, no matter how many customers you sign up or distributors you sign up today, if you don't do the work that generates new leads for your business, you did not work on your business today. Make sense? It's just a mindset I want you to get at the beginning. Now, here's another cool thing about this, though. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. In other words, your business is to generate new leads so that you can build relationships with them. Okay? Now, if you think about business that simply, you'll have a huge business. If your focus is meeting new people and building relationships with them, your business will always grow and you'll have fun. Make sense? Now, what we do with relationships is we turn them into advocates. We turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. See, most of the time we think of prospects as a possible sale or a possible recruit. I want you to start thinking of them as possible advocates. An advocate is worth more. They bring you multiple people. They talk to you. They talk about you to everyone they care about. And that's ultimately the goal, is that everyone that you know over time will become advocates for the amazing mission you are on. Make sense? Okay, next. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. Okay? And look, that's funny. When I say if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work, it's funny and everybody laughs and writes it down and says, yeah, I'm gonna share that with my team. There's so much teaching right now in our industry that teaches you to do things that are not really, let's just call it what it is. They're not honest. They're tricky. You know, whether it's something big like, hiding the name of your company that you're with until the last minute, never mentioning it on your social media because you want to draw them in and create curiosity. Like, create curiosity. Why are you hiding what you're doing? Like, be honest. Relationship marketing is an approach that requires you to be honest. It requires everything you do to be with the utmost integrity and never anything that can violate trust. Okay? So a lot of those tactics and techniques that are being taught out there, they will work and they will get you sales. But I'm just explaining to you guys that if you want to build a relationship marketing business, which is one that it's much easier to maintain over the long haul and more fun, you need to first start with understanding everything depends on trust. Make sense? How many of you, that's kind of a sigh of relief right there, that you can just be honest and open about everything in your business and it will actually work better? Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so let's get into this. Trust makes the work fun. Trust makes the work fun. If somebody trusts you even just a little bit, you don't have to convince, you don't have to sell. You get right to helping somebody. True? Also, trust takes the ickiness away. How many of you are like me, are paranoid of being seen as the icky salesperson? You don't need to be an icky salesperson. You don't ever need to be perceived that way. When you build trust, there's no ickiness. Also, you get to go for yes. You get to go for yes. And so many people are teaching this whole go for no philosophy, the idea that you just got to invite and message every single human being you can get in front of. And don't worry about the fact that 90% of them will reject you, because each no is a badge of honor. You're getting closer to a yes. Have you guys heard that before? And there's some truth to that, but here's what I want you to know. When you approach people with the relationship marketing approach, leading with love, being upfront and honest, adding value, investing in relationships, you're not going to be counting no's as a badge of honor. You're going to be going for yes with everybody. Maybe not everybody right away, but you're not creating those hardcore rejections this way. Make sense? Okay, next. How do you build trust? How do you build trust? I will share with you the 4 essential ingredients tonight. It's really all I have time to do. You can tell I'm talking as fast as I can, and I'm still going to cram so much into this call for you guys. Luckily, we're recording, right? So here are the 4 essential ingredients. Number 1 is chemistry. Number 2 is character. Number 3 is competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. Okay? You guys are good note takers, I can see, or at least you're good at pretending it. Let's break these out one by one. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? This one I think you probably all get. It's basically people would rather do business with a friend, and nobody likes doing business with somebody they don't like. True? So find common ground. Ask questions. Figure out what you have in common. What I see happening right now a lot, especially on social media, and make no mistake, social media for us is real life. Our business is built there. Okay? Don't use your social media platform to divide your audience. Use your social media platform to find what you have in common with people. Make sense? Next, character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Notice something about my definition of character. It's not something you have. It's something you do. Character is something you do. And we think that it's a badge of honor, something that we own. And somebody, how dare you question my character, right? We get twisted up that way sometimes when we feel like we're being questioned. Understand that it is your job to demonstrate your care to people. That's how they know your character. Right? Don't tell people I'm a good person. Show them how good you are. Don't tell people you can trust me. Earn their trust. Character is something you do. Okay? And if somebody's questioning your character, the onus is on you to demonstrate it. Number 3, competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay? Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. In other words, first off, can you help me? Do you know anything about your products? Can you help me with whatever my challenge is? Can you solve my problems for me? The second piece is, can I trust you to mentor me in this business? Do I want to join your team? There's 2 pieces, right? As a customer, I need to know you know what you're talking about so that I can confidently buy your products from you. And number 2, if I want to join the business, are you the person I want to join with? I need you to demonstrate to me your competence in both places. This is your goal. As a person building your business, your goal is to become very competent with your products and helping people solve the problems that your products solve, and become very competent with mentoring others in the business. Now, for newer people, anybody kind of newish on the call? It's no fair because I know I've got at least 2 national marketing directors on I can only see 5 of you at a time, right? So they're not going to raise their hands. New people are often told, fake it till you make it. Have you guys ever heard that? Just fake it till you make it. It's okay if you don't know the answers. Here's what I want you to understand. Going back to what we talked about just a couple minutes ago. Everything depends on trust. Don't fake anything. If you have no clue, you say, well, you don't say I have no clue. You say, hey, look, I'm brand new and just learning myself, but my upline is incredibly knowledgeable in this. Lean into your upline. Lean into your team. Okay, if you're new, don't fake it. Just say, hey, I'm part of one of the best teams, one of the most knowledgeable people. One text message and I'll have any answer ever. And if you want to join the business, we'll be mentored by the best together. Make sense? So new people, lean into your team. Leaders, tell your new people, lean into you and support them in doing that. I have people all the time ask me, well, you know, should I help my first level people sign people up, and should I help? I'm like, yes, absolutely. That's what you're supposed to be doing, right? They don't have the competence yet. That is what you're supposed to be doing, is helping them. That's you're building your own team by building other people's. That's all good. Okay. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do in your business person. Don't fake it. Lean into your team. Got it? There's one principle that kind of underlies these 3, and then I'll jump into number 4, and that's this. When somebody's going to do business with you, they only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? This is what matters. Now, will somebody ask this out loud? No, I call these heart questions. They're emotions people feel. Make sense? They're emotions people feel. And they're the kind of emotion that you make them comfortable with by building the relationship over time. But these are the questions from which all objections come. Price objections, it comes from one of these or a combination. Ingredient objection, anything, it comes from these. Yes, learn how to overcome objections like a pro, but understand you need to keep working on the relationship. Make sense? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? By the way, little side note, I'm going to try not to do, I promise, Sari and Kim, I promise not to do, and I can't really promise this because I'm going to go on tangents constantly. I'm sorry. Hopefully they'll all be really good ones. In the very beginning, I talked about some of the tactics that were being taught. Create mystery, hide that thing to the last minute. All these things that people do in our business. Invite an old friend for coffee and then pull out your business charts halfway through the cup, right? Surprise, I'm here to talk about Juice Plus today. The truth is, the reason why we feel like we have to do that kind of stuff is because it's just a lack of confidence. What people really care about are these questions. Do you care about me? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? This is what people care about. Once they understand, it doesn't matter what I can't even tell you how many people I had in my business say, Eric, what should I order? Well, I say, what is your problem? Just tell me look, I know that if you're representing this, that is going to be good for me. What is it? It's like, wow, that's amazing. You don't even know what I'm representing. They just wanted it because I had already worked on these questions with them over years. Make sense? And that's where you get, okay, tangent over, we'll keep moving. Number 4 is consistency. Consistency. How important is being consistent, building trust? Probably the most, right? I mean, if any parents on the call? Yeah. And then when we're inconsistent, right, our kids call us on it immediately, don't they? You think adults don't? Maybe they don't call you on it, but adults notice, don't they? Here's the principle. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. When kids, I used kids as the example. Kids think of consistency as, fair and not fair. The kids see the world in terms of fair and not fair. That's not fair. That's fair. I think as adults, we give up on the idea of fairness for the most part, but we do respect consistency when we see it, right? And we all wish we were more consistent, and we all desire to be around others who are. It's kind of cool. This principle actually lifted from one of my favorite books. It's called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Anyone read this? If not, add this to your list. I'll put it on the screen for you. Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. Such a great book, especially for leaders in this business. For those of you who are leaders, you need to read it right away. And for those of you who plan to be leaders, read it right away. Does that cover everybody? I think so. It's really good. He talks about there's a whole chapter on consistency, and I could go off because it's so deep. There's so much good content there. The idea that being consistent is the primary motivator for people. Isn't that amazing? When we're kids, here's a tangent, I can't help it. When we're kids, they call it peer pressure, right? We want to be like our friends. We want to be consistent with our group. One of the reasons why having a team like this, there's your 2 teams here tonight, right? Having teams like this, you got one team, you're both on the same team. This is a community of people that are moving in the same direction, trying to do something for their lives. This is the group you want to be consistent with. We have a need to be consistent with a group. And so this is the group you want to be consistent with. And pretty much all of you are struggling against a sphere of influence who is not consistent with your goals, right? So you got to find your group to run with. All right, people respect consistency and desire for themselves. Let me just ask you guys a couple of quick questions on this. Let me see your faces. Are your cameras on? It's on. It's okay. I don't care if you're in a dark room in your pajamas. I really can't see you. You're this big. You can crush your heads. How many of you are consistent with your products? Product of the product? Let me see. Consistently use it. It's your lifestyle. Okay, good. Hopefully everybody. Let me see the social media mavens. I only see ladies on my screen. That's why I said that. Who uses social media consistently to share your story and your journey? Awesome. Okay, good. That's good. So these are good examples of things that you're doing consistently that people are seeing and respecting. Now here's the checkup from the neck up. How many of you are as consistently in contact with your relationships? One-on-one. A couple people. It's good. It's good. See, this is the part that matters. Let me get back in my presentation here. This is the part that matters, being consistent with your relationships, connecting with people, okay? The principle is this: people won't believe you until they see you. What do I mean by this? You can post on social media every day and your journey and all the amazing things happening in your life, right? I did it too. And there are people who will put their hand up and say, yes, I want to come with you. You'll put up a great post saying, well, I'm doing a challenge. I need 10 people to come. Who wants to come with me? Comment and I'll get you some more information. And you'll get a few people that comment and go, that was great. But there are thousands of people seeing that post that are not liking or commenting. True? See, the vast majority of your relationships are watching you like a television show. It's something they're detached from. They enjoy the show, but they don't feel connected to it. Okay? And they won't believe that you are inviting them personally until they hear from you personally. Why would they believe that you mean them if they have not heard from you since high school? Right? And this is one of the things that we have to understand, is that social media has made it so much easier for us, but we can't expect it to do the work. People still need one-on-one connection. So just keep in mind, relationship building is a contact sport. But can you guys hear me okay? I just realized my microphone is really far away. Is that so much better? Is that better? Oh man, it's like it's my first time doing one of these. You have to be in regular contact with people. Now I sound like Barry White, right? Connect with people. Yes. Jay, if any of you have ever worked with Jay Lisa Swain, our director of customer experience, she always teases me. She's like, put your microphone up there, make it smooth. All right. You have to be in regular contact with people. Here's what I want you guys to understand about relationship marketing. You need to be in regular contact with every single human being you've ever met. But that's not overwhelming. With a system like Teamzy, that's actually manageable. I'll show you in a minute, okay? Here's the principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Just really quick, I've got a quick example on this, and then we'll jump into Teamzy. How many of you have ever received a great card from someone you care about? You know, like for your birthday, anniversary, or something, and in the card, there was a message, handwritten, like just a beautiful message. Anybody ever get a card like that? Isn't it amazing how a message like that can have such a deep emotional impact? Even more so than if somebody just looks you in the face and tells you that. I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. I'm going to tell you in a second. Okay, quick question. For those of you guys who raised your hand, which was just about everybody, after you read that beautiful card and you think, wow, what a beautiful card, how many of you like to just, crumble it up and throw it away? That was nice and now it's gone. Anybody chuck them afterwards? I got nobody. Usually I have at least one good neat freak that wants to get rid of them. Do you guys keep them in some special place where there's a pile of them somewhere, right? Maybe you have a significant other going, when are you going to get rid of those? But he has his stashed away too. Most people will not throw away a card that has a message like that. They will save it forever. Incidentally, little side note, if I did a training on the one piece of marketing that will never be tossed ever, would you guys take that class? That's it, a handwritten card. Okay, just a little side note. If you write somebody a card from the heart, they'll keep it forever. You know what's even amazing about these things is that not only do we save them, but when we pass away, our family keeps them even longer. How many of you have letters or cards from a loved one who's passed away that you've kept? They are so valuable that we keep them even after our lives are gone. Like, those persist. Isn't that amazing? Now, quick question. Who's ever got one of these? This is a happy birthday postcard. This one's from my life insurance salesman. You guys ever get one of these? Like the dentist, life insurance salesman. My dog actually gets one from the vet. It's nice. This is nice, right? Does this go in the special place? The special forever. Do you think my kids will treasure this after I'm gone? No, it won't even make it that long. In fact, I have a trash can in my garage that this kind of thing usually hits before it comes into my home, right? How many of you guys have a special trash can just for junk mail on the way in from the garage? Why does this have no value? It's a happy birthday note. The reason why this has no value is because it took no time. There's no investment of time. This took no time from Eric Opdahl, my No offense, he's a good insurance salesman, right? This took no time, it has no value, we throw it away. But a handwritten card is invaluable because it's an investment of time into a relationship. Does this make sense? You want to deepen a relationship, you have to connect with people and invest time. Now, do you need to write handwritten cards to everybody in your business? No. Should you be doing that when you can in your business? Yes. Yes, you should. I mean, people that I've consulted with in their business, I always have them have a goal of writing 2 or 3 of those every single day. That's not a main thing in your business, but it is important, especially leaders, to be writing to people on your team, congratulating them, whatever the case may be. But just sending somebody a message, say on Facebook, as opposed to posting on their wall, a personal message, it's an investment in one-on-one time that makes an impact. Make sense? And I'm going to show you how using a tool like Teamzy and something like, messaging on Facebook or texting people, how you can seriously make people's day in a really efficient way and build a ton of momentum in your business. All right, so let's get over there. I think I have one more slide. Yeah, here we go. Someday I'll have somebody standing here moving everything for me. Wouldn't that be cool? Here's the thing. How many of you like the philosophy of relationship marketing so far? Hopefully, or I'm going to look at you and go, you're in the wrong training. But you need a system. You can't just like the philosophy. You have to have a system to follow. Okay. You need a way to stay in contact regularly with all your relationships. You got to know when to contact them and when not to contact them. In other words, I don't want you spending hours every day planning. I just want you doing. Make sense? Also, you should know what to say so you can start a conversation without staring at your screen all day long trying to figure out what to say to start the conversation. Who gets stuck in that? That was me. That's why I'm going to help you with that today, because I figured it out. Also, make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. You have to have a system so nobody ever falls through the cracks. How many of you have had somebody fall through the cracks? You thought they were a great prospect, and then for whatever reason you lost touch, and then you found out they're on someone else's team now. It's like a knife in the heart, right? But here's the thing. The Bible talks about, the Israelites were going to get to harvest grapes they didn't plant. That's what happened is you planted the vineyard and you tended it. Somebody else got to harvest those grapes. You weren't there at harvest time. I'm going to talk to you tonight about making sure that nobody falls through those cracks. Make sense? All right, let's jump out of this real quick. We'll go to Teamzy now. First off, really exciting. Teamzy. Hold on, come on. Zoom, catch up with me. Hold on, push the button. I'm just waiting for my computer to catch up. You know how you do that to make green lights turn green, red lights turn green? You guys ever do that? I try to get my computer to do stuff that way. Here we go. The great thing is Teamzy is free for 30 days. So if you're not already using Teamzy, go to teamzy.com and get a free trial. Okay? We even have a special page if you want to go to teamzy.com/JP. Okay? And it's just customized for you guys. Teamzy.com/JP. Get your 30-day free trial. Now, what else is also really quite exciting is that we've recently partnered with Juice Plus. We've received the endorsement from the mothership to serve you, which is an honor, quite humbling. And they've negotiated a discount. They've got a third off of our price. Now, I just want you guys to know, we don't discount Teamzy ever. In fact, I have said many times, if I could go back in time, I would have charged more for it. Teamzy is typically $29.99 a month after your free trial. But for Juice Plus, it's only $19.95. I'm going to show you, what I'm going to show you right now will blow your mind. It's going to be like, 78 cents a day or something to have this in your business. So I just want you guys to know, go get your free trial started, 30 days free. You'll be super fired up after this call to do that. And then you can look forward to having basically the best rate in the industry. Thank you to Juice Plus Corporate for that. Okay, so this is the Teamzy dashboard right here. So what we're going to do is when you first log in, it takes you into a setup wizard. The setup wizard is for people like me who literally don't know how to use technology to set it up as easily as possible. You guys think that I'm the Teamzy guy and I'm techie. I have to tell you, this happened to me today. By the way, you guys can put this in the chat if you know the answer. Somehow my iPhone turned black and white today, and I have not been able to figure out how to turn it color. This is who you're dealing with. So if I can use this, you can use this. Okay, so the setup wizard, if you've already dismissed it, it's right here in settings. We'll open it up and we'll use it, okay? So what we'll do in the setup wizard is we're going to do three things. We're going to set an income goal. Okay. We're going to create a powerful why, and we're going to get all your contacts into Teamzy so that they're in one place organized. No more looking for pads of paper that you can't find, sticky notes that you've got all over the wall, whatever, scribbled in your planner, scribbled on coffee cups. I don't know what you guys do, but I know you're here and you need this. So we'll show you how to do it. Okay. Let's get started. Set an income goal. So you'll see a blank box here. I just want you to put an income goal. This is your 12-month goal. Where do you want to be 12 months from now? Okay. What Teamzy does with this number is it tells you what to do daily to hit it. It's kind of cool. It backward engineers your annual goal. So I put 150,000 in here. Now, I know we've got some leaders on the call. If you're already making a significant income from your Juice Plus business, I want you to put the difference in as your goal. Okay? What's the difference, the growth going to be? But for those of you that are just getting started, set your annual income goal. Okay? Again, mine was 150 because that was my salary that I left to do network marketing. Next, continue. So Teamzy is now telling me that I need to connect with 4,348 people over the next 12 months. Is that a lot? How many of you guys think that's a lot? That's a lot, right? How many of you think that 150 grand your first year is pretty aggressive? Well, yeah. So I should have to work for it, correct? Now, here's the cool thing about it, though. Even though that seems like a huge number, I'm going to go to the next page and it's going to break it down for me. It takes that number, it breaks it into prospects, customers, and distributors on my team. Then it breaks it down monthly, weekly, and daily. Now I've got a daily target. Connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 distributors a day. That's 19 people. I'm here to tell you that's 30 minutes a day. And that's not 7 days a week, by the way. That's a 250-day year, which means I get to have weekends off and take a vacation. I get to go on those free trips that I win from the company, right? Yes, cool. Maybe go to a Juice Plus Live and get trained live by Eric from Teamzy, right? Yeah, it's all going to happen. Here's the thing. Connect with 9 prospects, connect with 6 customers, connect with 4 distributors. Those numbers will vary based on your income goal. Those are connecting. What do I mean by connecting? I mean, it's literally, I call it making someone stay. That's it. Just making someone's day, connecting, saying hello, making their day, not trying to sell, not trying to recruit. Why do we do it this way? We just want to have a conversation first. I have a saying that cold invites end conversations and sometimes friendships, right? Cold invites, not always, but for me, it's not worth it. I'd rather start a conversation first, see where it goes, try to, see what I can get going in the conversation, let people know I care about them first. And when there's an opportunity, makes sense? And I'll give you a little bit more of that tonight. I can't go too deep into that tonight, but I'll give you a little bit more of that as we go. So those are connect goals. The next goal is invites. An invite, this is where you're actually inviting somebody to learn about the business or to learn about the products. An invite is something where it can lead to a sale or a recruit. Make sense? So I'm going to start 19 conversations, and my goal is that out of 19, 3 of those conversations will come to an invite. Make sense? And then ads, the last box there, ads are just new people I'm putting in my Teamzy list each day that I'm meeting on social media, meeting in the real world, or maybe people I already know that aren't on my list yet. I'm just adding new people every day. Make sense? All of these can be changed. They're suggestions. Let's say you're new and you've got no distributors. Then make that 0 and put it over here on your prospect number. Okay? So these are just targets from Teamzy. I'm going to put it back though. Okay. Once you click continue, Teamzy will now configure the dashboard to your goals. So each of you will have a customized dashboard. Let me just show you what that looks like. I'll skip back here and show you. So now on my dashboard, you can see today's activities. My goal is to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 distributors, 3 invites. See that? And my 3 ads. Pretty cool, right? Okay, let's jump back. The next piece of the wizard is finding your why. Finding your why. Just really quick, because I know I've got some good people on this call. How many of you already have a why written down, like a why statement that you have written? Oh, good job, leaders. You've got some good people on this team, at least on screen 1. Let me go to the next screen and see. Okay, that's great. Finding your why is a huge piece of this. And most people skip it because they think it's some sort of deep spiritual, you got to go to a sweat lodge in Sedona and sit with your inner child to figure this thing out. How many of you guys have avoided it for that reason? Here's the thing. That's the way I was too. My partners and I, we are junkies for personal growth and development. We've read every book on this, and there's a whole books on this. You guys, how many of you have read books on finding your why? You don't need to overcomplicate it that much. I'm telling you right now, it's not that complicated. You already know your why. It's here in your heart. True? The problem is your heart is not in charge of anything except pumping blood. It's your brain that runs the show. True? You guys understand this? You ever hear that term, follow your heart? Isn't that nice? Do you know that in order to follow your heart, you have to reprogram your brain? Because your brain has its own program. It's designed to keep you safe. It's designed to keep you from getting overwhelmed with life. Have you ever driven home and pulled into your driveway or garage and thought, how the heck did I get home? Has that happened to you? That is your brain can actually drive your car subconsciously. What do you think it's doing in your daily decisions in life? So this is why we need to go through a process of thinking, getting your brain for a second to connect to your heart. And then we write it down, and then we read it and reaffirm it to ourselves daily. This is the process. Make sense? Now, we have simplified this. There's 5 questions I'm going to ask you. And they're just to jog your mind and get you thinking, to lead you in a direction, to uncover what really matters to you. I'm going to take you through the process. I know you don't really need this to use Teamzy, but here's what I want you to understand. 1 out of 2 people will quit this business their first year. That's too many. How hard do you work to get new distributors on your team? Do you want to say goodbye to more than half of them every year? No, that's why I'm going to help you, and you're going to help your team with this. Make sense? I'm going to share my personal story just as an example. Obviously yours is different, but just because it's the only story I happen to know as that well as mine. So I'll take you through this process really quick. Let me get back to Teamzy. Now these questions are in Teamzy for your own benefit. No one's going to see them. You're going to go through this process, just alone. Okay. The first question is, why did you become a distributor? Why'd you sign up? Now, some of you know my story. I used to be a Beachbody coach. That was the business I was in. And I found their products. I lost 60 pounds. It was life-changing. It just changed my health, changed everything. And people were constantly asking me about it. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, how'd you lose the weight? What are you up to? And I would just tell them. Now, I wasn't a distributor. I was just telling people what I did. But it was a lot. It was half a dozen people every day. And my wife said, babe, you should be a distributor, because you could just give them a link and they would all buy it. I said, that's a good idea. So I signed up. Did I want to change network marketing industry, put heart into it, integrity, and all the things that I'm passionate about now? No, I didn't know there was anything wrong with it. Right? I just signed up because people were already asking me about it. Next question. How many of you signed up just because you love the products, you were already talking about it, and you figured you might as well make extra money referring them to people? That's what I did. Next question. What did you hope to accomplish? I signed up specifically because I wanted to make $500 a month extra money. Okay, that's it. Anyone relate to that goal? $500 a month extra money, that's it. I thought that would be great. And I asked my sponsor at the time, do you think I could make $500 a month doing this, part-time? He said, yeah, totally. I said, great, sign me up. Next question, why is that important to you? Why is that important to you? Now, listen, if somebody tells you they want to make extra money, don't just end the conversation there. There's something there. Why? What do you need extra money for? You got to go deeper. Make sense? In my case, I wanted to save it. I wanted to put the money in the bank. Now, just to give you some context on that, I told you that I came from a background of coaching and consulting, right? I worked primarily with real estate professionals. Any real estate people on the call as one of your other gigs? Real estate was a great industry to be a coach in because it was always growing. I live in Southern California. It was redonkulous here. It is again, by the way. But it was growing. And then suddenly, at the end of 2008, the recession hit. How many of you guys remember that? Like every minute, right? And by a few months into 2009, our business was gone. It was gone. I lost my job along with just about everybody I know. And it was scary. Anybody lose their job in the recession or have a spouse or loved one? Yeah, it's really scary. I had a job that I absolutely loved and I could not imagine doing anything else. So we had to go figure out something else, right? And anyways, this isn't that story. By God's good grace, we made it through that recession. My family, we made it. We were provided for miraculously through that recession. But at the end, we had used our savings. We stopped saving. And like most of the country, we were going paycheck to paycheck, right? By the time I found my network marketing opportunity, I was almost 7 years without saving any money. And I've got 4 kids. I had 3 then. I have 4 now. They keep growing. I can't help it. 4 kids. Everyone relies on me, and we weren't able to save any money. It was terrifying because I had already had my dream job and been laid off. And here I was paycheck to paycheck, knowing that that could happen for whatever whimsical reason, right? Once you've been laid off, you understand it doesn't have anything to do with how good you do your job. So I wanted to put money in the bank every month because I just needed to put money in the bank. Do you guys understand that? It's like in a deep emotional reason. And now I'm starting to dig into something here. I wanted $500 a month. Why? So I could put it in the bank. Next question. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? What would achieving this mean for you and your family? I wanted to buy a new home for my family. That's really what I wanted to do. That was my number one goal, was to buy a new home for my family. We had a great home, but it was tiny. We bought it before we had any kids. Now we have kids everywhere. Everyone was sharing rooms. I really wanted to have a great marriage. And part of that included not having the nursery be in the master bedroom. Right? Some of you guys, I see some nods because I think that's happening for a few of you. That's all good. That's all good. That's a season. I wanted to build my own business, come home and work on it, but there was no place to work, things like that. So I dreamt of having a new home. I have a big dog and I wanted her to have more room to run around. Just stuff like that. So anyways, I dreamt of a new home. Meanwhile, as I'm thinking about this, we're $150,000 upside down on our mortgage in Southern California during a recession, right? But I thought, wow, if I could save $500 a month long enough, maybe we could look at buying a new home someday. So I'm starting to think, just after a couple of minutes of doing this process, I went from, okay, sign me up, whatever, to wow, maybe this could be a way for us to get a new home. The last question here, and I'm not sharing my screen, I'm just going to tell you the question. The last question is, why is that meaningful? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Now, in my example, it's, buying a new home. Why is that meaningful? How does it make you feel? This one took me a minute. And as I thought about it, because here's the thing, I felt kind of guilty about it. I felt guilty about wanting a house because it's a materialistic goal, right? How many of you guys write materialistic goals and you feel guilty about writing those, right? Like you want an awesome car and you write that in your goals and you're like, do I really need an awesome car? Like, am I a jerk for wanting that? Do you guys feel that way? I just want you to know it's okay. I feel that way too. I still want an awesome car and I still will feel guilty about driving it, but I will drive it. You get me? But here's the thing, as I'm looking at this goal, I think, wow, is this meaningful? And why I love this process is it helps you confront the thoughts you're suppressing. See, the stuff that really matters to you, you suppress. It's the way your brain protects you from those emotions, especially if, like me, you're in survival mode and your goal is to provide, just to get by, provide survival for your family. Then you don't have time to think about all this stuff or the luxury, so you suppress it. This process brought it out. And here's what I realized. It wasn't that I needed a new house. It's that the house was symbolic of family. Are you with me? And it was my family life that was wrong. See, I wasn't there for my family. I was doing what I felt was my duty, which was providing for them, but I wasn't present. I would get up in the morning and I would leave for work and kiss my kids goodbye. They're still in their pajamas. I would leave for work. And I would work, and I was really good at my job. I have to tell you, I loved my job. I loved the status and the respect I received for how well I did my job. But I would come home in the evening, and my kids would be ready for bed again in their pajamas. And I would tuck them in and say goodnight. That was my relationship with my kids, and I realized I was going to miss it. I was going to miss their whole time. Meanwhile, I have the most amazing wife in the world, and I spent 30, 40 minutes a night with her. By the time I got home, taking care of all those kids, she was exhausted. I was exhausted. We might veg out in front of Netflix for a minute and then we're both unconscious. That just wasn't the life I wanted for my family. I wanted so much more. You guys relate? So, I'm looking around at my life. I'm looking around what I want to do, and I'm looking at where I am. And I had kind of this aha moment, and I wrote down my very first why statement. Okay. And if you look in Teamzy in the my why box, it's the sample text is literally my why that I wrote. Can you guys believe this? 3 years ago, just 3 years ago. I can't even believe it. It feels like I'm talking to you guys about a lifetime. It was 3 years ago. This was the why statement I wrote: to create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family, and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. I wrote this down and I put it in front of me. And here's what happens when you do this. The first one you write might not sound good, and it may not be all the way there. It doesn't matter. You're going to refine it over time. But here's what will happen. Your why will convict you. See, for me, what happened was I realized something. I considered network marketing my side hustle. I love that term. You guys heard that term, the side hustle? My side biz, my extra money. But when I stopped and looked at my life, I looked at my career and realized I was at the top of my career and had nowhere else to grow. Even though I loved my job, I realized I was stuck. And I wasn't saving. We were stuck, right? Meanwhile, I looked at my side hustle and said, sky's the limit with this opportunity. True? It made a switch in my mind. I stopped thinking of my business as extra money. I started looking at my career as extra money. I said, wow, these guys are going to pay me all that money to build my business? Pretty cool, right? Start thinking of your job as your extra money. See what happens. And as soon as that why was in front of me and I realized I had so much more to work for than just extra money, I realized that my life with my family was on the line. Everything was on the line. Do you think it was easier for me to do my Teamzy Connects each day? When I show you in a second that you can do your power hour literally in 30 minutes, and then you look at your why and you have to decide, do I want to move towards my why or do I want to stay stuck where I am? And the decision is resting on whether or not I'll do 30 minutes in Teamzy today. What do you think you'll choose more often than not? Because you are going to want to quit. You are going to want to quit this business at some point if you don't understand your why. But even if you don't have something major happen, I've had people in my boot camps who were doing their power hours in the basement while the roof was being torn off their house by tornadoes. Do you think that's a good reason not to do your work today? People have had loved ones die. They've had tragic things happen. But even without that, how many of you just some days just plain don't feel like doing it today? Right? You don't have to raise your hands because I know it's all of you. That is enough to get you to quit your business. 2 or 3 days in a row of that and you're out of business. That's why you got to have the why. That's why you have to understand it. That's why it needs to be in front of you and you need to read it every day. By the way, when you write your why in the last box in Teamzy, it will save it to the dashboard of your Teamzy dashboard. So right here in this last box, my why, the rest of them are just notes for you. But in this one, whatever you write in here, when you hit continue, it saves it to your Teamzy dashboard. I want you to read it to yourself every day, out loud if possible. Share that why with your spouse or your significant other. Share it with your sideline brothers and sisters. Share it with your team. Get accountability from everybody on your why. It'll make all the difference. Make sense? Now, just going to give you one more little piece of this story. I'm sorry it's such a tangent, but I really feel passionately about this. I know you're going to love Teamzy, but if I can get you to really to get your why, then I know you have a good shot of being really successful in the business. I came home after doing this process. Within 3 months, I left my career, which was scary. I made good money, beyond 6 figures in my career, and that's how we supported our family. And I told my wife, I'm going to leave my job and work on the business. She was like, "You're what?" But once I had the why, I understood. Now, I just want you guys to know, I had nowhere to go, and we weren't anywhere close to buying a new home. And I certainly wasn't going to rent the office space. So what I did, some of you may know the story. Has anyone ever heard me talk about my shoffice? I had $5,000 in the bank. That's it. I went to, I bought a new computer because 15 years, I never had to buy my own computer. I was always working for somebody else. I bought a new computer, a new iPhone, and then I went to Home Depot and I bought a shed. You know the ones they have by the door at Home Depot that people put their lawnmower in? Those ugly sheds? I bought one. I had it dropped in my backyard. I drilled a hole in the wall and I put an extension cord in it. And I started working out of this shed, sweating to death in the summertime. Luckily, I live in San Diego, so it wasn't too crazy. But check this out. I just recently found this picture. Wait, where is it? Oh, do I not have it right now? Let me see if I can find it quickly enough to share it with you. Did it open? Am I sharing something right now? Oh, I'm sharing something right now. I don't want to do that. All right, let me see if this thing opened. Dang it, I had that picture open. I found a picture recently of my shed with my partner, Mike, and I in the shed. Oh, well, it's no big deal if I can't find it right now. But here's the thing, I made it happen. I got out in that shed. My kids called it the shoffice. Dad's in his shoffice. And I would go out there in the morning. I typically started my power about 4:30 in the morning, and it was freezing. I had a little space heater out there. I'd go out there like bundled up in a hat and a robe, and it was awesome because I knew I was working towards my why. Make sense? Here I am 3 years later in like a, I don't know, how many square feet is this? 300, 400 square foot office. I'm not in the shed anymore, though I kind of wish I still had the shed in my backyard just to have, right? The point is do this, you guys, get the why. Get the why. Don't skip this part. Are you with me? All right, you guys are like, when is he gonna show us Teamzy? That's why we're here. Let's go do Teamzy. Well, we're doing Teamzy setup, but let's get Teamzy done. Where to go? Share. Zoom. Sorry, Zoom keeps taking away my buttons and I have to go over here to the menu. Super annoying. Okay. See, you can tell I don't on Zoom. We'd be all over that. Okay, here we go. Last step to setting up Teamzy is getting your contacts into Teamzy. So there's some videos here to help you get from the back office. If you've got a team, you want to get your team in first, okay? And then you get your customers in. And then the next group I want you to import are your Facebook friends. So there's some videos here to help you with that. There's even more on our Help Center page. And then if you're super tech challenged like me, just hit the help button and ask for help and our team will help you, okay? Don't even worry about it. This is like moving into your dream home. How many of you guys move yourselves when you move houses? You get a U-Haul and you pack it up and everything? Great, some of you will do that. How many of you hire movers? I hire movers now, I can't do it anymore. But here's the thing I'll tell you. You can do it either way here. You can move in yourself, or you can call us, you can message us and say, help me, move me in. It's not gonna cost you anything extra. But either way, you're gonna get to live in your dream home. Okay, you just gotta get over the move-in part and then you'll be in your dream home. So there's some different, you can get any contacts you have, you can get them into Teamzy. All in one place, organized, one list. By the way, Teamzy lives in the cloud, which means that wherever your phone is, you've got Teamzy. You don't have to go find the sticky note that you left somewhere. It's all in Teamzy, okay? All right. And then there's one more step in setup, and that is prioritizing your relationships or ranking them. I'll show you how this works. See how everybody has a number ranked next to them? The way this works, I'm gonna go to the team page. The team page is where your full list lives. This is like your electronic Rolodex in Teams. You see everybody's here. And everybody has a rank based on stars. See that? You can go to rank mode here by turning this on. It automatically does this when you do an import. So everybody that you bring into Teamzy comes in as 3 stars automatically. And then it's your job to rank them higher and lower based on your relationship. Okay? Simple, right? 5 star, you guys know how this works. 5 stars is awesome. 1 star, not awesome. Except these are people. And don't feel bad about this. You need to understand that 80% of your business comes from 20% of your relationships. You guys understand that? 80% of your business comes from 20% of your relationships. So you need to connect with the best relationships more often. That's what we're doing here. So you connect with the best relationships more often. So let me just explain what this means. The more stars, the more often they come up on Teamzy. Make sense? So let me give you the actual definitions. A 5-star is someone most likely to become a customer or distributor, or they're a rock star on your team, or they're your mom, or your great best friends. They show up every 30 days. A 5-star shows up on your connect list. Just, hey, make their day every 30 days. 4 stars, somebody likely to convert with a little nurturing. Your solid performers on your team, your solid customers, your friends, your family. Not your closest friends and family, but your friends and family. 4 stars, they show up every 60 days. Every 60 days, they cycle through pretty often. 3 stars could go either way. They show up every 90 days. Most of the people on your list will be 3 stars, and that's okay. You talk to them 4 times a year. Wow, that's awesome. This is way better than doing now, right? 2 stars are getting colder. They show up every 120 days. Do you guys get how this works? More stars more often. Now, don't go putting 100 5-star people in your thing because nobody knows that many people that close. Okay? And you'll never get to anyone else. Most people will have 10 to 25-star people in their life if they have lots of relationships. Now, you're going to go down this list. Again, they're going to start as 3 stars. Really what I want you to do is just to go down the list and pick out your 4 and 5-star people and rank them up. Okay? And you're going to re-rank as you go. Don't worry about it. But you just want to do the first cut through this so that when you come to your dashboard to do your power hour, it prioritizes the best people first. Make sense? You guys with me? So now we're ready. We're ready to do a power hour. Let me show you how this works. Okay. So here's my Teamzy dashboard. We already talked about how today's activities, these are the goals for today. Now we're going to come do our work here in this power hour module right here in the center of my screen. The power hour module makes this so easy. The left side gives me my lists, prospects, customers, distributors, and my follow-ups. Okay? The right side of it is where I log my activity so that I log as I go and I don't have to go back and track. See, most people use CRM systems, which Teamzy is a type of, to record history. They're like filing cabinets. And that's why people hate them, because nobody likes doing filing, right? No, this is to help you know what to do today. It's to give you your roadmap for today. Here's what you're going to do. Here's who you're going to connect with, and it tracks as you go. Make sense? The first person on my list is Sari. Am I saying it right? Sari? Sari? Sari. Sari.
Sari.
I'm trying to make it all like, sorry. Sorry that I called you Sari. How's that, Sari? Okay, great. She's the first person on my list. We've never met today, guys. Till today, so give me a break. She's the first person on my list. Notice on my list, there's only 5 names. That's to keep me focused and keep me from getting overwhelmed, right? Everybody's in Teamzy, but on my power hour, it shows me 5 at a time. So she comes up on my list. I've got to message her. I can honestly say we just met, so I don't really know what I would say to her, right? How many of you guys would wonder what to say to her? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to scripts. See right here where it says scripts? And I'm just going to grab an easy conversation starter script. I'm going to message her on Facebook. So here it is. And let me just use connect number 1. We'll keep it super simple. Connect number 1 says, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. Now, as simple as that seems, it works amazingly, right? So I'm going to copy that script. And then what I'll do is I'll paste it in here so that I can edit it. We'll get the name right. Luckily, I can mispronounce it when I'm typing. She will never know. I just can't spell it wrong. So we'll change the name in there. Now my microphone's in the way. See? Gotta move there we go. I got to get a little emoticon in there. So there, got an emoticon. Some of you might want more than one emoticons. Got to put an emoticon in there, right, though? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy this now. I have to send it in Facebook. Teamzy won't send your Facebook message for you. There's a little note here that says Teamzy does not send Facebook messages. Just clarifying that. Facebook made plans about 3 years ago to take over the world as far as being the dominant messaging service. And they eliminated the ability of anyone to send messages for them. But here's the thing. They did it, didn't they? They succeeded. All right, so I've got Facebook right here. It's super easy. Just toggle over there. Look her up. There she is. And I'm just going to send her this message. I've already got it loaded, copied, so I just paste it. There it is, ready to go. Send. Done. Message sent. So what I'll do now is on Teamzy, all I have to do to log it is hit the big blue log connect button. And now it's logged. You can see I've got 1 done. My little circle starting to fill in. The next person on my list is Jay. I'm going to message her. I'm actually going to just use the same message that's already on my clipboard and change the name. Boom, ready to go. How easy is that? Seriously, how easy is that? And I'll send it to her on Facebook. There she is, Jay. I just got to click it. Send. Now I've got 2 done. Now, what I'm going to do and that was a Facebook message. Notice that I'm sending Facebook messages because they're my favorite way to communicate. They get the best response rate. But you can log any kind of activity: emails, text, Instagram, Snapchat. You can do a video, voice message, whatever. Okay. All right. Log connect. Now I've got 2 done. See how this blue circle's filling in? When I get to 10, it will be all the way full, and it'll be my signal to move on to customers for today. Make sense? Now, as I'm sending these little messages out, these little love notes to start conversations, some people will respond right away. I don't want you to answer them yet. Don't answer them and start the conversation until you finish all your outgoing messages, okay? Otherwise, you might get distracted and never make it through. You with me? So keep sending those out. So I'm going to connect with 10. My goal was 10 or 9. My goal was 9 prospects. So I'm going to keep going until I hit 9 prospects. Then I'm going to toggle over to customers. Marty's the first customer on the list. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to my scripts because Eric has some great customer scripts in here. Real simple, right? Hi, John. How are you enjoying? Let's just grab this one. Copy script. It's not John, is it? It's Marty. Hi, Marty. Can't type, guys. How are you enjoying? Even if you're a bad typist like me, you can still do this really quickly. How are you enjoying your tower garden? Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Not if, how. Look, that's ready to go. So I'll copy it. I'll toggle to Facebook, send Marty that message. Are you with me? And then I'll log it and I'll go to the next person. I'm just going to work down my customer list the same way. Make sense? And when I've done my 6 customers, which was my goal for today, I'll move to my distributor list and I'll start messaging people on my team. Now, really quick on this. How many of you guys understand how important it is to prospect every day? Everybody understands that. But do you realize that staying in touch daily with customers is as important as prospecting? You're like, I kind of feel that way, but I feel like I should be prospecting more. Here's what I want you to understand. How many of you have customers already? Great. Everybody I can see has customers already, which is great. There's three reasons why being in constant contact, or regular contact, not constant. I don't want to sound like you're annoying people, but regular contact with customers is super important. Number 1 is it's just the right thing to do. It's good service, right? Yeah. Number 2, if you're in regular contact with customers, they will, statistically, this is a fact, they will order more product and they will retain on recurring orders longer. Okay, so let me just say it again. Just by being in regular contact, they'll order more product and they will retain on recurring orders longer. How many of you would like to see that happen through your whole organization? Yeah, get them into something like Teamzy. Now, what's beautiful about Teamzy is it's super simple. You don't have a complicated system where you're like, okay, well, I got to contact them 28 days after their initial order, then 14 days after that, and then, right? And you can't keep track of it. Just let Teamzy just remind you to send somebody a message to stay in contact, and you'll be in contact with everybody. When you need them, when they need you, you'll always be present. Now, everybody raise their hand that you have customers. How many of you would like some more? Awesome. So where do you go to get customers? Is there a website for that or something where you can go get them? Wouldn't that be great? Do you know where the best place to go get new customers is? The best place to get a new customer is, I see some nods from the leaders, your current customer. Your current customer is the best place to go to new customers. Think about this for a second. When somebody loves a product, what do? They talk about it. That's why half of you are even here, because you did the same thing. They talk about it. Now, I'm going to throw a couple stats at you. 82% of Americans, do we have any Canadians on the call? If I have Canadians on the call, forgive me for using American stats. Just go with it. We're basically the same people. Just get over it, right? 82% of Americans would prefer to do business with a friend. 85% of Americans look to a friend or family member for a recommendation before making a purchase. Does this sound about right? What does this mean? It means your customers are talking, because people do this, about their products that they love to their friends and family already. Their friends and family, 85% of them will make a purchase based on that personal recommendation, which means 85% of the people your customers are talking to are ready to purchase. Oh, how many of you are excited right now to talk to customers tomorrow? Why aren't you getting them? It's because you're not in regular contact. And it's more than saying hello. You have to ask them to introduce you to those people. Are you with me? Just ask them, hey, if anybody you care about needs more information or can benefit from what I do, can you introduce me to them? That's all. Just, can you introduce me to them? Ask them to introduce you via text message or Facebook message. Don't ask them to refer you, by the way. Don't give them somebody a business card and say, give this to your friend. You'll have the same results by throwing the business cards out of your window off the freeway. Okay, somebody might find it in the gutter when they need it. Get them to introduce you. Make sense? Oh, just introduce me. You don't have to do a thing. Just, group chat, introduce me and I'll get them some more information. Make sense? I could train you for an hour just on that. I wish I could, but we got to keep moving. Next is talking to your team, messaging your team, your distributors. Okay, so we've messaged our customers. Now we're going to message our distributors. This is the last piece to our power hour. Connecting with your team is just as important also as everything else, because you have to create family, you have to create connection. People will quit if they don't have a why, and they will quit if they don't feel connection, belonging. The two things that motivate human beings to work harder that have been shown through social science. By the way, guess what has never been connected to working harder? An increase in money. A raise has never helped somebody work harder. But what makes people work harder is status, the desire for status, which Juice Plus takes good care of with your ribbons and your badges and your awards, right? And number two is personal connection. As the leader of your team, you have to build that family connection. You just do it by staying in touch with people. And I don't care how big your team gets. I don't care how big your team gets. With a system like Teamzy, you can stay in touch with those, at least with your first level people. Just stay in touch, connect with them. Okay? Let them know you're thinking of them. Is there anything I can do to make your day-to-day? Message them, and then you're done with your power hour. We've done prospects, customers, distributors. Our goal was 19 people. I could do that in less than 15. Let's say it takes you 30 because you're new. Okay? Just sending the messages out. Remember, we're not responding yet. Now we get to the fourth list, follow-ups, and it's empty. There's nobody there. Oh my gosh, what do I do, Eric? See, we use the word follow-up loosely. I want to explain to you what it means in Teamzy. In Teamzy, we're connecting with people, and we follow up on interest. We're connecting all the time. We're staying in touch, and we're following up on interest. So what does that mean? So I messaged Sari earlier in the evening, and we're talking. She responds. Great to hear from you. It's great to be connected. We start talking. Well, what have you been up to? How have your holidays been? What are your plans? Is anything cool going on? We're talking, getting to know each other. What I'm doing in the conversation as we're messaging back and forth is I want her to know that I'm interested legitimately in knowing her and having a relationship with her, but I'm also looking for some way I can help her, right? And what I'm doing is I have two very powerful ways of helping people, besides my business, by the way. It's who I know and what I know. That's what I help people with, who I know and what I know. Oh, I have a friend who does that. Let me give you his number. Oh, I read an article on this. It's amazing, right? So as you're talking to people and you uncover needs, who you know, what you know is how you can help them. And as I'm talking to her and I'm getting getting caught up on her life, I'm going to, at some point, tell her about my life. This is what a conversation looks like, right? Now, a lot of times someone will say, what about you, Eric? What have you been up to? Which is perfect, because then it's like you've been invited to. But I will always share just write this down, you guys, because this is stuff I usually don't teach on team calls. Usually it's like in my boot camps, but I want you to get this really simple. Always share what you do and why you're passionate about it. Always share what you do and why you're passionate about it. Is what you do sell Juice Plus? No. What you do is solve people's health problems, help people with nutrition, help people with their vitality. What is it you specialize in? My friend Ron is a survivor of stage 4 cancer. He helps people who are ill regain their health. That's what his specific mission is. He uses Juice Plus as a vehicle to do that. What do you use it for? What do you do and why are you passionate about it? What's your story? How's it impacted you? Tell people. It's so different than saying, oh, hey, Eric, would you take a look at this link? Would you be open to an amazing opportunity if you saw it, like all that kind of stuff? Because then what I feel like you want to do is just tell me something. But if you tell me, hey, if I tell you, hey, I'm on a mission, I recently regained my health and I'm on a mission to help other people do it too. I found this amazing company, Juice Plus. Have you heard of them? Oh yeah, you have. Yeah, they've been around for a while. Their stuff is unreal, and it's really changed my life. And now I'm so excited to share it with other people. I'm not even talking to you about signing up yet. I'm just telling you what I'm doing and why I'm excited about it. Does this make sense? You need to share that far and wide. Everybody needs to know that you are the person that does what you do, and they need to know you do it with Juice Plus. When Juice Plus comes up in conversation, they need to go, oh, you need to talk to Eric. He's the guy, right? When somebody comes up and says, I'm so exhausted all the time, I'm so tired. Oh, you know what's fun? My friend Eric was just talking to me about how he helps people with nutrition to get their energy back. Let me connect you. You need to let people know what you're doing. Make sense? Don't worry. Don't feel like you have to hide what you're doing, but don't think of it as selling to people. Think of it as everybody needs to know how I help people. That's how I'm going to help more people. Are you with me? So in the conversation, I'm talking to Sari, and she's like, what are you up to? And I say, oh my gosh, and I'll always share a piece of my story. I may say, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I haven't worked a job for 3 years. Really? No, I started my own business. I'm home with my family now every single day. I work from home. It's amazing. Well, what do you do? I help people get healthy. And I do it with Juice Plus. Really? You actually can make money doing that? That's the question I get all the time. Yeah, I can. Right? And so, you're having a conversation, and I do want you to know this, Sari, that anybody that you come across that struggles with their health, that struggles with nutrition, that's looking for a way to, or now, with Tower Garden, it's even cooler, right? Anybody who's really wants to provide clean food for their family and is an easy way to do it, sustainable way to do it, you can just make sure that you connect me with them, because I'll be happy to help them. I'll get them set up. Okay? Or even you, if you want more information on this, I'm here for you. This is kind of the way I call this planting a seed. Every conversation I try to plant a seed like this. Are you guys with me? Don't hide your business, but just change your approach. Think of it as your mission. I tell my boot camp people, you're on a mission from God. You need to share it. I'm on a mission from God. I'm changing the world with my business, and I need you to know about it so that I can help more people. Are you with me? So she says, wow, that's really cool. That's really neat, Eric. Now, here's the thing I want you guys to understand. Every single person, I can't think of an example where anybody that I shared what I did and why I was passionate about, their response wasn't something like, wow, good for you. Wow, that's great. Would that be a nice starting point for your conversation compared to what you've received in the past from some people? Now, those people aren't saying, oh, wow, I want to sign me up. They're just saying the first step of my conversation is to get them to be like, wow, what you're doing is really neat, which is the complete opposite of the way most people respond to network marketing. True? Yeah, that's what you want first, because now you're building advocates. And she says, I'm kind of intrigued. I'll be honest, I'm kind of intrigued with what you're doing. So look, if you'd like to learn some more, this is where I'm going to invite her, right? I'm seeing some interest. Now I'm going to actually invite her to something. Maybe you'll take her out to coffee or take her on a three-way call or invite her to an event. But if you'd like to learn some more, I'd be happy to share some more information with you. In fact, my team is doing a virtual event tonight. If you want the link, I'll send it to you. You can be in your pajamas and you can tune in. And I'll check in tomorrow, see if you have any questions. She says, oh, that's great. Send me the link. Great, perfect. So now I've found somebody, we've had a great conversation. I've invited her to learn more, and I'm actually sending her something. Are you with me? So let me show you how to do this in Teamzy, and then we'll do Q&A. Where'd Teamzy go? I know it's here nearby. So she's not on my dashboard anymore, so I have to look her up in the lookup bar, which just takes a couple letters of her name. There she is. Takes me to her record. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the big connect button, and I'm going to click on invite. See invite right here? And let's call it a business opportunity meeting. So I'm going to choose one of these invite types and just put a note. I'll call it a virtual event. All right. So now I'm inviting her to this virtual event. Send her the message. Now notice it has a follow-up in 2 days. It automatically sets a follow-up when you put invite, because Teamzy's trying to save you from forgetting that. But what we do is we set a follow-up now to put her on my follow-ups list. I'm going to set it for tomorrow, though, because I told her I'd follow up tomorrow, didn't I? So I'm going to log this connect. Now watch what happens when I log this connect. Now there's a follow-up. So if I go to the dashboard and I look on my follow-ups list, there she is. Make sense? this is where I'm putting people on my follow-ups list when there's interest and I've invited them to something. So as I'm having conversations, my goal was 3 times a day to put somebody on to send them an invite to something and put them on my follow-ups list. So my follow-ups list are people who are strong leads. Make sense? And everyone else, they just churn through my regular up next list, and I'm staying in contact with them, having conversations, loving on people, making people's day, having a blast, helping people. And then from that, I'm getting genuine interest, putting them on a follow-ups list. So now my power hour looks like this. After you've done this a couple weeks, you'll find that you've got your follow-ups list starting to fill up. You come through here, you hit your daily goal of sending out messages to prospects just to connect, customers just to connect, distributors just to connect. Then you may set aside some time later in the day to have the conversations that you've started, right? Some of those conversations will fizzle out. Don't worry about them. They're going to come back on Teamzy again based on their number rank. Some of them won't respond at all. Don't worry about them either. They're going to come back on Teamzy in a month or 2 or 3, depending on their rank. Don't even worry about them. But the ones who do respond, that you have a great conversation with, invite them to something, put them on your follow-ups list. So the last piece of my power hour is doing my follow-ups list. And so I'm going to work down this list and I'm going to send a follow-up. Now, really quick on this. It's super easy. I'm going to go to scripts just like before, but this time I'm going to grab a follow-up script. There's follow-up number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Copy script, just like before, paste it, change the name, get the right name. Okay. How easy is this, guys? And I'm going to send it in Facebook or text or whatever you use, but I like Facebook because Facebook actually has a better response rate than text. Okay. Also, Facebook has has 2 other benefits, which I don't have time to get into. I'm going to tell you, but I won't explain them. They can look at your Facebook page before responding and get totally connected to everything you're doing, which is great if you're sharing properly. And every time somebody responds to a Facebook message, you're prioritized in their feed. They're going to see your posts more often. Pretty cool, right? All right, so I'm going to send this done. Because Facebook goes, well, if they're messaging back and forth, then that must be a very relevant relationship. All right, so did you see how easy that was? I sent the message, and now I'm going to log it here. Now, before you log a follow-up, pay attention really quick. Everyone look up. Set the next follow-up. All right, so I'll follow up again, let's say in 2 days. Set your next one so she doesn't fall off the list. Keep her on your follow-ups list. All right, real quick on this. Do you guys see how easy that is? You see how easy it would be to move somebody through that process and never have them fall through the cracks? Now, I know I've been talking a long time. Let me just cram one more thing in here about following up. The fortune is in the follow-up. How many of you have heard that before? Like so much you want to gag just hearing me say it. Yeah. I want you to get this statistic. It's a big one. 80%, what was it? No. I think it is 80%. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. That's correct, right? 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. You guys heard this before? Okay, think about this for a second. How many of you would like to close at least 80% of the people who you've mentioned the business to? Yeah. And same people that raised their hand that would like to, how many of you are currently following up 10 times with those people? And it's okay if nobody puts their hand up, because I know most of you guys seriously are like, I don't care who this guy is, I'm not following up. I ain't following up 10 times with nobody, right? Well, first of all, if you're not using Teamzy, who's not using Teamzy yet? You have no hope of following up 10 times. What are you going to do it in a spiral notebook and stay that organized? No way. You just have no chance, right? There's no way. It's like hunting and gathering. You are like cavemen with a club, hoping that you're going to find food every Tuesday. Forget it. But I'm just kidding. Maybe not that bad. But anyways, the real reason you're not going to do it is because you don't want to be annoying. How many of you are just like, you think that's going to be annoying? You just, after 3 or 4, you feel like you're already pestering him and you stop. Okay. I'm going to teach you right now how to do it without being annoying. Okay? So hang in there 5 more minutes and you'll get the answer to never being annoying. In fact, people will thank you sincerely for your following up. But first you need a mindset shift. Let me just see really quick, who really believes in their product? Like really believes in it. Okay, well, good. I'm glad to see everyone here does. Great. How many of you believe that your business is a way for you to truly help people? Like truly help people. Good. So if you're here, you believe in your product and you believe it can truly help people and the business opportunity can truly help people. I just say that's like loving people, right? Like you love people and want to help them. Would you guys agree with that jump? Yeah. 80% of them will not purchase unless you follow up 7 to 10 times, which means if you really want to help them and love them, your product, if they never buy your product, it's not going to help them. True? It's the follow-up. That's the only thing you have. The way you love people is by following up. Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. Write that down. Following up is an act of love. Shift your mindset on this. Instead of thinking of it as a way to be annoying to people, think of it as a way to love people, the way to keep your promise, the way to keep the integrity that you started your conversation with. Now, when you fail to follow up with somebody after telling them you will, you are communicating to them that you don't care about them. There's no other way to interpret it. You just don't care enough about them to keep following up with them. You followed up 3-4 times and heard crickets. Anybody, and that ever happened to you? If you don't say that happened to you, then you're not following up at all. And then you thought, well, I'll move on to the next one. What you really said was, I guess I don't care enough about you to keep going. Here's what I want you guys to understand. Nobody answers follow-ups. Nobody responds. It's very rare. It's very rare. Did you know that if you walk, this is so gross and random, but I don't know why it popped in my head. If you walk, who lives on a coast, east or west? Did you know if you're walking down the beach and you come across a chunk of whale phlegm, it's called ambergris, that it's worth, a chunk of whale phlegm the size of a football will be worth about $150,000? Did you know that? Would that be cool to run into that? I mean, other than it being gross, don't worry, it doesn't smell gross or anything. It smells like perfume. My point is, that's how rare it is that you finding that and cashing in on it is about as rare as people responding to follow-ups. People don't respond to the first 3, 4, even 5 follow-ups. Most people won't. Now, why? It's because their life is going on, right? Their life is going on. And I'm going to teach you right now how to do your follow-ups in a way that are not annoying. People will thank you for it. And I'm going to explain why it works because people aren't going to respond. So the first rule is this, write these down. The very first rule for not being annoying is this. Never ask someone to do anything in the follow-up. Don't ask them to do anything in the follow-up because that's annoying. Like, for example, respond to this text. No, don't ask me to do it. Don't ask me to call you back. Don't ask me to text you back. Don't ask me to anything. RSVP for an event. I'm not going to. It's annoying, right? People aren't going to. I'm just telling you right now. Number 2, your messages have to be typed, messaged. They have to be able to be read. I know you guys are Voxer fanatics, right? True? But I'm telling you, for a prospect follow-up, it has to be messaged. Okay? Use Voxer, talk to each other, talk to your team, talk to your friends, great. But when you're messaging a follow-up, it has to be typed and it needs to be short. It needs to be short. Why? They need to be able to read the whole message without opening the message on the lock screen of their phone. Facebook Messenger is great. Text is next great. They need to be able to see, look, I've got a bunch of messages right now on my black and white only phone right now. They're not going to open the message. They need to be able to read the whole message. Now think about this. You get a message from somebody that's long and you don't have time to answer and you don't want to open it right now. And how annoying is it to see that ... and know that you're not going to see the whole message right now? True? So don't add those little psychological annoyances. Don't ask them to do anything. Keep it short and sweet so they can see it on the lock screen. Here's why. I messaged Sari, hey, do you have any questions for me? It was great talking to you, whatever. And she sees my message and she says, oh yeah, I'm so excited about that. And I need to respond to him. And within 2 seconds of her seeing my message, she says, oh my gosh, is the dog really throwing up on the baby right now? I gotta go do that, take care of that. Or maybe it's dinner time, or maybe it's raining and it hasn't rained in San Diego in 9 months. That was us the other day. And everybody's outside going, what is this? I have a baby who's going to be 2 on Christmas Eve. And she was like, what is this? She'd never really experienced rain before. Isn't that crazy? Almost 2. For whatever reason, life will happen and it will happen within a couple of seconds and they will not respond. This is the way all human beings are. There's a psychological thing happening. Remember how your subconscious mind drove your car home for you? That same mind is protecting them from changing the status quo. You are change. And so their mind will distract them from responding. This is the way it works. So your job is to love them through that process until you can basically convince their subconscious that you're not a threat. How do we do this? By sending lighthearted, supportive, caring messages consistently. So every time they see the message, their brain says, wow, there's like nice emotional flow happening every time they see a message from this person, and the guard will go down. Make sense? This is all like deep psychology, but all you need to do is just follow the Teamzy program. Open it up, message people, get your follow-ups, get follow-up number 1, number 2, number 3. I numbered them for you. I put all 10 in there. Just so you know, I put 10 in there numbered for you. Just send them the next one, okay? And then what happens is around follow-up 5 or 6, long after you and most people would have given up on them, you'll get a, oh my gosh, thank you so much for following up with me. I really, really appreciate it. I'm sorry I haven't responded. And then they'll give you the list of reasons they've come up with in the last 2-3 weeks on why they didn't respond. Okay? So just keep going for it. Just keep going for it. I'm sorry I gave you the weird whale thing, but I just want you to know how rare it is. So those of you guys who get crickets on follow-ups and you're surprised by it, don't be surprised by it anymore. Don't be offended by it. Understand that is normal and love them through that process. Make sense? And if somebody does respond on the first follow-up, be like, wow, hallelujah, this is amazing. And be very grateful for it. Okay, the last thing is I'm gonna finish off this person in Teamzy so I can show you how to move them to my team, and then we'll do some questions. I know I've been on the call now for, gosh, a long time, sorry. Hey, you guys are hanging in there with me, most of you. Let's see here. So let's say I go into the back office and I see that Sari has joined the team, got her package. This is how I do it. I'm gonna look her up. I'm gonna click on this sale button, and I'm just gonna log that she put an application fee in. That way I know that she joined the team. Hit save. I'm not worried about commissions or anything like that. That's all in the back office. But what I will do is tag what products she bought, so I know what products she's using, right? I'll tag those in there in tags, super easy and simple. And then I'll take member type from prospect to distributor just by clicking on it, personally sponsored. Now she's on my team in Teamzy. Pretty cool, right? So she's gonna show up now on my distributor list. I'll continue connecting with her on a regular basis, staying in touch with her, building that relationship. Truth is, she may not be planning on building right now. She may have come in for a good deal, but it's okay. She's on my team. I'm going to nurture that relationship. And as she falls in love, just a little side note, as she falls in love with her products, I'm going to get her to introduce me to all her friends who she's already raving about them too. And when they all want to sign up, now I've got her building. Make sense? Okay. Who's got questions? If you have a question, just go ahead and just unmute and go for it.
Eric, was there only 2? Thank you for this, by the way. This is amazing. Were there only 2 things under your follow-up? You had 2 like rules, like don't ask them to do anything, and then also keep your messages short, and they have to read. Was there only two tips there?
Those were the only 2 tips for not being annoying. My overall tip, though, is keep them on your follow-ups list forever until they convert or tell you to please stop following up. And then what happens is if they say, please stop following up, then you just put them back in your Teamzy flow, and they come up in 2 months, and you still follow up, but instead you just say, hey girl, what you been up to? It's been a while since I checked in. How are you? And you just start connecting again. Make sense?
Yeah.
But you got to stay in touch. How many, who's been in the business more than a year or 2? Let me see your hands. How many times have you talked to somebody who's been really interested and then put the brakes on at the last second, and then 6 months down the road was ready? It happens all the time. That's why you want to stay in touch. It's no big deal. Okay, no big deal. They'll check in with you down the road and stay checking in. Well, how are you doing? They go, I'm glad you checked in. I really need to do something. Now I think I'm ready, right? Now, the other option is, this is what happens all the time, is you don't stay in touch. And then when they're ready, they go with somebody else because you're not there. So, make sense? Yeah.
I do want to say one thing. First of all, again, thank you so much, Eric. And everybody knows I'm I am not that tech savvy queen. But for me, when I had to load everything in, I actually did it on the first try. So
Nice.
that's a, encouragement for you guys. If I can do it, so can you. That's all I got to say. I could load it in, and it was actually easy with Excel, putting it all in and whatnot, and I was able to do it. So for anybody that kind of, I hate to say the word fears it, but I know you offered out, you guys will help. It really wasn't challenging to do. So I just have to share that to get it all. Yeah.
I have to tell you guys, I probably shouldn't say this, but when I was talking with Meredith over at corporate, she said one of the things they love about Teamzy is based on the people who are using it, they know we must be very easy to use. Then they giggled. So they know who has trouble with tech, right? Because you guys have struggle with back office and things like that. So I thought that was a big compliment. I said, well, good. I'm glad that you guys are getting that feedback too. So that's good. Let me give you action steps real quick. Okay, and then I'll take a couple questions for those of you rock stars who hung in this long with me. I almost forgot. Action steps. First action step. I actually have a slide if I can find it. First action step is go get the 30-day free trial started. Come on. That's a no-brainer, right? Is this it right here? No, here it is. Go get your 30-day free trial started. It's free. We don't ask for your credit card or anything. There's no risk. Just go do it, right? And if you're already in a free trial, set up your subscription now so that when it ends, your free time ends, you won't miss a beat. You won't get charged till after your 30 days is up. Even if you're excited today and you're like, sign me up for a year, you still are going to get 30 days free. That's just the way we run the program. I want to make sure that you love it, okay? The next one is to do your 30-day free trial, or if you're already using Teamzy, you should still do this. Get a 30-day success partner. Just somebody that you know that's motivated like you and say, hey, you want to do this with me for 30 days? Let's hold each other accountable to really rock in the system. And then the best thing that you can do is each day when you complete your action steps for the day and you have all those circles filled in, take a screenshot of that and text it over or message it over to your success partner. Do it daily, 5 days a week, or whatever days you guys decide you're going to work. You'll get so much more out of your free trial. You'll get unbelievable results in your free time. Make sense? And then the last thing I'm going to give you is a 5-day challenge. The 5-day challenge is I want you to actually use Teamzy 5 days in a row, no days off, 5 days in a row, and do at least 20 connects a day for 5 days. That's 100 people. Because you will get so much momentum happening. Actually, you might even be overwhelmed by it, but that's okay. I want you to see how much momentum you can do in just 5 days. Here's what I want you guys to understand. And the leaders here on this call, they'll give you the nods on the video so that you understand that this is not me making it up. Successful people are just as overwhelmed as unsuccessful people, especially business owners. You're overwhelmed, but with opportunity instead of worry. That's the difference. And it feels different. It's more of an exciting overwhelm, right? It's kind of like your kids on Christmas morning. That is the life I want you to be. So yes, I want you to be busy. I want you to be talking to lots of people. I want you to be creating a lot of energy in your business and enjoying that. You're not going to get to sit around and do nothing anymore once you start using Teamzy. You'll be busy talking to people, but that's where we want to be, right? Who's in for the 5-day challenge? Let me see. Public accountability. Cool. I just want to give you guys a stat. Average users right now, I should say average active users, people that are doing 20 connects a day, they're averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. So that's not bad for loving on people and helping people. No go for no campaigns. Pretty fun. All right. Any other questions?
Hey, can we take a picture with you? If you don't mind, you just got to give us the sign, like we're cool or something, like, you ready?
What is that sign?
I don't know. What do you think, you guys? What should we make Eric do? Put the glasses on? What should you do? I don't know.
I don't have any cool glasses. I'll just give you a big smile.
Yeah, and give us the thumbs up like we're amazing or something, cool like that. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Is everybody smiling? Okay, cool. Thank you, Eric.
You guys are amazing. Thanks for having me. I hope you guys have a great time with Teamzy. I'm humbled and honored to be here teaching with you tonight. Hopefully you got some good nuggets and some good content here. Have a great night. God bless you. Talk to you later.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. It was awesome.
I'll say something really quick. I did message you about the black and white. Just let you know.
Oh, I see it. Thank you. Okay. Let me see if I can get that to work.
Try it. Alrighty.
Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. Thanks for being on the call, everyone. Appreciate you.
Thank you.